Do you write for 1, 2, 4, or 8?
Oh, well, that's a good question. Probably 1.
I know with my writing, I write for 1.
Yeah.
As well.
But now it's going to be interesting seeing, how the Jardines kind of starts evolving also because, I'm hoping that we can start writing together for the next project.
It's interesting, if I can say, because when you first came to me to produce this record, the songs were all written for 1. She came with a handful of songs, and AJ was getting involved in it also. But they were songs that you had written, and they were all sketched out, but they weren't really thought of for a band.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was kind of my job to go, okay, so where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, that was the interesting thing in the studio because we built it accordingly. Like normally it was just me and my acoustic guitar or her or whatever, right? So it was really nice, bringing Michael in. We were talking about Steele, and he's like, I know the perfect guy.
Yeah.
So, it's been wonderful having him come in, and then we just layered everything. So
It started with drums, acoustic guitar and vocals, and with a click track, and then started layering in drums, and then putting in a bass, and then starting just with those basic tracks, and then going, okay, now we can start hearing, hey, what would be really good here? Maybe something like this. Oh, you know what I hear now is this, and then just started chipping away at it until it became a song.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when you're full. It's just sort of like, yeah, that's it. There you go. I wanted, everyone I've worked with, all these bands that we've put together for these shows are bands that have come through the studio and performers and musicians that have come through the studio. And it's really great to show people who these unknown people are. And one way to do that is get them to come out to bands that they do know and go, hey, who's this opening person?
That's like a showcase.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking more about the two of you, because you're essentially still fronting the band, so I was wondering how much the dynamic between the two of you changes when you've got 6 other people sitting there shaking their heads behind you.
Well, sometimes it ends up they're just kind of shaking their heads
while we're doing our thing, they're just back there going, oh my God.
I can probably answer that one better because I've been there when it's just the 3 of us, or the 4 of us, or the 8 of us.
Yeah.
It don't change. Yeah.
And you were saying that yours was an Olympic venue, so it was like in the thousands?
That was my first official performance.
I was amazed how calm she looked and how at home and like she's been doing this all her life. It was alarming because I would have been crapping myself. But that's the thing with songs. You're telling a story. And sometimes you put too much crap on the song, it takes away from the story. Takes away from the voice, takes away from what you're trying to say. And if you're not saying anything, if you're just, rhyming every second word with each other.
Love and above.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the thing that I really appreciated about Kirk too, was that I'm a songwriter, and the lyrics really need to be told, and a lot of my other CDs, the vocals have been buried, and so he was really good about putting our vocals on top, make sure that everybody could understand everything we were saying, and really get the story.
And I know that a main, I guess, kind of like mantra we had throughout the entire project was to be able to have the 2-person, my mom and I, be able to sing and it sound still with the same concepts. Yeah. So it's kind of, I remember that was one thing that we talked early on, was that if my mom just wanted to sing the song or if I just wanted to sing the song, it would still have that same vocal and acoustic quality in it with accents of other instrumentation as opposed to the instrumentation riding or like controlling the music.
Well, there's something I learned from a fellow who I actually saw recently. He used to teach up at Cap College, and his name is Fred Ardeel. But I have played with Fred, and I met Fred maybe 20 years ago. I didn't go to Cap College, but I've played shows with him and that. And he taught me 2 things. One, always pay attention to the singer and learn when not to play. And that
Exactly.
basically is exactly what Kirk just said about
Yeah.
space. Conceptually, there's kind of the same. Is
Mhm.
to actually figure out when not to play.